Okay, so the first extra movement for the Aroma back routine is a bit of a balancing movement, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to start with your body square onto the client. You've got no oil on here as of yet, and you're just going to place your left hand on the back of the client's neck, okay? And you're going to place the other hand right in the centre of the back. And you're just going to sort of loosen your hips so you're nice and relaxed, and you're just keeping a positive contact with the client. You're not pushing in, but you're not being too wishy-washy either. And you're just going to count again, a bit like the Subo point, 6 to 10, count, something like that. Leave your left hand where it is and just raise the right one and move a hand's width down. And again, just count. I won't do it for the absolute length for video purposes or you'll be bored to tears, but again, just slowly move the right hand down the back and just breathe deeply. Encourage the client to breathe deeply. And last one, so you kind of finish where the towel meets the skin basically, so however many hands widths you can fit in. It just depends on the size of the back and the size of your hands basically. And once you've counted there, you're then going to change your posture so that you're now walk standing, but the opposite direction, so you're facing the client's feet, and you're going to lift both hands, and where that towel joins the skin again, you're going to use the heel of your hand and you're going to just push down and lean in there, okay? And again, hold for up to 10 seconds, okay? And then you can relax and then tell the client that you're going to get the oil, and you would start your routine as normal, okay? So normal back routine, but you're taking out the tapotement. So let's apply a little bit of oil. Again, a bit more. Going to need a little bit more. To get your application right at the beginning before you start the actual routine. Okie dokie. So you would start your routine as normal with your stroking down the spine. And then you'd get all the way through to the part where you know you do the frictions up the bed. And so you're doing this here, and you're getting all the way up the head of the bed, and you're walking around to the top. And we do the movement where we slide all the way down the spine. And we normally just come out over the hips, pull up the sides, and come back to the beginning. And what we're going to do here, if we can reach, when we get to the bottom, we're actually going to do a little bit of a sort of windscreen wipers type movement. Really push on the hips and push away, one hand at a time. And it allows you, if you're struggling to reach over the client's head by doing one hand at a time, it allows you to kind of dodge your chest from their head as such, and so you can reach and do that movement. There we go. So that's that one. We're then going to do all that work around their shoulder blades. And here I would encourage you now to lift the client's arm into the crook of their back if you can, and this just lifts their shoulder blade up so that you can see underneath it a little bit more. And I would use your thumbs and your middle finger, so lead with your middle finger, and see if you can run right underneath that shoulder blade. Some clients, you'll see when you work on each other, some people's shoulder blade stands up a lot more than Marsha's does here, And so you can really, really see it stand out. You can get your fingers underneath that bone. And so do your usual thumb kneading around, but add in with the client's arm around there. Get right underneath that shoulder blade and really trace underneath there firmly and drain away all those toxins that you've made from breaking down the tension. And then you would guide the client's arm back down again, and you would come and do exactly the same again. And you can see I've still kept contact. Is that comfortable, Marsha? That was a little bit more tricky too. So again, when it's tricky for your client to get their arm there, some people just go woo, straight behind, and others it's a little bit more challenging. So just check that it is comfortable. And again, keep contact with the client. You're going to do the same under the other side as well, working around. So I won't do masses on there. Just guide back down. Oh, you're right, Marsha? Sure? Yeah. Okay. So we're gently guiding the client there, okay? You would then carry on all the way through your routine, and you do the movements all the way down one side, swapping yourself around the other side, doing the other half here. And just before you finish the routine, you would do your vase movements near the end, wouldn't you? And this time you're going to add in 3 different movements here. So what you're going to use is you're going to do some pressure points under the occipital bone here. So the bone at the base of the skull. You're going to put your right hand just on top of the client's head, and this is just to steady. And you're going to use your middle finger of your right hand here, and you're going to push under the occipital bone underneath by her ear here, and just sort of hook up and do a little pressure point underneath there, and hold it for a second or so. Then slide that middle finger towards you and push up again under the occipital bone, and just keep releasing and pushing underneath that bone until you get right in the middle, and you can feel there's a proper dip in the middle there. And then you're going to take your thumb and do the same on the occipital bone closest to you. So you're going to hook under the ear closest to you with your thumb and push up under that bone. And release and push up again. So it's a nice, slow, steady row of pressure points, just hooking right up under the base of the skull there. And the last one is going to be that central point again. Okay. You're then going to knead the sides of the neck. So you're going to take your fingers and your thumb and actually pick up the sides of the neck. So sort of a deep tissue movement. All the way up the sides of the neck there. You can come right down around the 7th cervical there that we worked earlier. And then the last new movement is a lovely squeezing extractive type movement, where you're going to use both hands. You're going to just pick any section on her back, because you're going to work all over, and you're just squeezing your hands together, and as they get close together, almost bring them together like you're sort of praying or squeezing, and then right next door. And so you're constantly squeezing, and you can do different sections all over, slightly different angles, and just work your way as much or as little as you like. All over that client's back, making sure you never lose contact. But you can put in any of your hands-free movements into an aroma routine. But the key, particularly for the back, would be to take out the tapotement keep it a bit more relaxing. So there we go. Okay, and then you would finish off your routine as normal, thumb frictions up, erector spinae, etc. The last little thing I was going to show you was some whipping. So either with the towel or without the towel, you can do it as part of your routine with the oil. If you're taking out all the other tapotement, you might want to put in some whipping, where you're again going to face the client's feet. And all you're using is this lower part of your palm here, and you want to build up some speed, and you want to really, really quite quickly rub the skin with this section of your hand, and it's almost like a rolling movement that you're creating as you do it, so that one hand always takes over from the other. You want fair speed with this, and this is a great anti-cellulite movement that's still quite relaxing, rather than all the hacking and all of that, which is maybe less relaxing. So it's a nice way of incorporating some detox anti-cellulite movements, but still doing some tapotement.